Oh, hey, there we are. Hi,
There
guys.
it is.
There it is. Hey, how are you guys doing?
Good.
Good. It's so good to see you guys. How is everything going?
So good.
It's good.
We're rocking. What's up, y'all? Coming in.
Night.
Looking good. I like represent that Jersey night.
Let's go, dude.
Holiday.
Hello.
So
Awesome.
good. Trying to get this. Trying to get Anthem to roll here.
All right.
It's not letting me in the stream.
Trying to get Anthem joining in. Got some other people coming in. Here
What
we
up, y'all?
go.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Say hello if you're joining in. We want to see you. We want to hear from you.
Hi, Sophia.
Sophia, how are you? What's up, guys? Jeremy, good to see you tonight. Good to have you here as well. We're going to see if we can get Anthem up and going, huh?
We're gonna be rolling.
We're going to be trying. We're going for it. You know, Anthem's been having the technical difficulties, but it looks like people are joining. People are hopping in. Does it look good on the Anthem side right now? Does it look good on the Anthem side?
Let us know.
Yo, what's going on, Danny? Pastor Nick's joining in, I think. Are you joining in?
That's it. I just put a request in on Anthems. Let me join. Let me in.
Yes.
We're going for it. We're
joining
getting
in.
there.
It's a big old
Here we
question
go.
right now.
Yep, it's coming.
You're out
Looking
there.
good. People are like, yeah, it's looking good.
If you're
There
coming
we
in,
go.
say
All right,
anything.
here we go.
Let us know what's going on.
It's going to work.
Hey, Elise and Trinity.
Can feel it. Can feel it. So good. It's so good to see everybody tonight. We're connecting.
There it is.
Okay,
And
it's
we're
gonna
synced
stay
up.
this way.
Anthem is live.
Anthem's live. Listen, Anthem people,
Find some wood and knock on it.
do we look all right? Do we sound all right? Anthem, tell us, to be honest. Youth, man, we know we're looking good and we're working on it. But Anthem's got problems over there with their stream.
Hi, Trinity. Hi, Elise.
What up, y'all?
Go. Hey, Lauren.
wait.
Now, here's a question for all the Anthem people. Are we still good? We finally got it connected. Are we still good for the Anthem people? Fusion and movement, are we looking good over there? This is all important. This is really good. How's it looking?
Let us know, y'all. And that's okay. Listen, last week, the best part about, like, the things going down and not working out was that, like, people were immediately like, we can't see you. And they came over to the youth stream and were like, listen, Anthem's not working. Like, do that. If anything goes down, that's the best way we're going to find out. So your communication
true.
is good.
That's good. Hey,
Hello.
what we want everyone to do just real quick right now, why don't you text someone that should be on here that's not on here. Let them know that they need to be on here. Here's the thing. We just want to encourage you for the next, like, couple minutes, 30 minutes. We're going to have some fun segments too, but make sure to invite someone that's not here right now. And, oh, that's good. So Elise says we're looking good because of our Steelers stuff. Let's go.
What?
Let's go.
Messiah gear's going
We'll
on.
get into this a little bit later, but we are rocking out here. This
That's
is a
awesome.
pretty fun duo. Yeah, you need to invite some people because we got a request a couple weeks ago. They were like, guys, we like you, but we need to get the ladies on here. Tonight, we got four of us on the stream.
Awesome.
Pretty neat. It's pretty
It's
solid, though.
perfect.
So welcome.
Pretty solid.
Evangeline. It's good to see you.
Yeah, there we go. We got some good amount of people joining in tonight. Hey, one more time real quick. If you're able to, let somebody know that's not here right now. Let them know that they should be on here joining us. Like I said, this is our 5th week. Can you guys believe it?
It's crazy.
Week
No.
5.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But here's the thing. Since it's week 5, that's why we need more encouragement now than we did ever before. So this is really important. Make sure to get some people joining in with us and watching online right now. So, hey, tonight's a special night. It's Jersey night. Pastor Nick, Jordan,
Come on.
what exactly are we doing right now?
Listen, you know about Jersey night. This is about representing your team. This is about representing your player. Listen, here's the thing. Whenever we're talking about Jersey night, I remember going to my closet and going, I actually don't think I own a jersey. Jordan, do you own a jersey?
I don't.
I don't think Jordan owns a jersey either. So, like, what do we own? We own alma mater gear.
We've got some
So,
Messiah stuff.
we're representing the Messiah Falcons tonight, which is
Very
a team
nice.
and they're incredible. So, we are participating in Jersey Night. It's impressive.
Oh, yeah. And hey, if you guys are wearing a jersey tonight, make sure to take a picture and add it to your story and do hashtag Jersey Night so we can see what you are wearing. Even put it in the comments. Let us know who are you supporting tonight as we are live with our Thursday Night Live. We want to see your jerseys and we want to see it in the comments to know who you guys are supporting.
That's it. 2-step process. First step, take a picture of your gear.
Yep.
And then post it to your story. Tag us. Tag your ministry in there. We want to see it. We'll repost you. And use the hashtag Jersey Night. And we want to see what you're representing tonight. Super good. Put it out in the chat. We're curious. Right now we can't see what you're rocking. Put it out in the chat. What is it that you're wearing? What are you representing? What's the team you're representing? Or what's the player? Who do you got on the back of your jersey? What jersey do you have on tonight?
Elise is wearing the Steelers, I'm seeing.
Of course.
Steelers, let's go.
There we go. We've got a motocross.
Good
Jeremy's wearing motocross.
Nice.
Travis
Yeah.
Pastrana.
Pastrana. He's like
Pastrami?
the poster child of motocross and extreme
Yes.
sports.
Very nice.
Pastrana's the man.
Come
Hey,
on.
we've got another Messiah.
Messiah!
There we go. And we got some hearts with the movement and with Fusion. Let's go. So Anthem Fusion, what do you guys represent? The first question is really this, that we want to ask you tonight. Listen, we want to have an interactive component tonight. This is part of it. Why don't you comment and let us know what jersey you're wearing, and then let us know what your favorite team is. So even if you're not wearing a jersey tonight, terrible tout, let's go, Hannah Matsko. Love that. Why don't you let us know, why don't you comment real quick what your favorite team is too? This could be anything, right?
Anything. And even if you're not wearing a jersey, like if you forgot, it's okay. It's okay. Just put your favorite team down. Just comment below, put your favorite team down. What is it? We want to know.
Yeah. And what are some sports people could be rocking tonight?
I mean, golf,
You could be rocking golf.
baseball, cheerleading,
Water polo
water polo,
Water
Normal
polo.
on land.
Normal polo. That's
Yeah,
good too. All right.
True.
rugby. There's lots of things.
Let's go ahead and see. We got some people that are shooting some comments tonight.
The Eagles.
My Tiger Rock
Yeah.
martial arts shirt.
Woo.
Amazing.
Let's
Amazing.
go.
Got some Eagles fans coming in.
Eagles.
Some
There we
competition
go.
there
Fly
with the
Eagles
Steelers,
fly.
so-
Packers.
Oh, who said Packers?
We got Packers.
I mean,
over here.
yay.
Jeremy with the Packers.
Seen so
Oh, dude.
I'm so sorry.
Bro, that's so bad. Did I talk about this
Eagles.
already, man? I actually like supporting the Dolphins is a pretty great deal because every time they win, it's like the Super Bowl, you know?
Oh,
Oh.
They're nice, man. Like,
that's so sad.
you're just great.
Ooh, man, that's some stuff coming right there. Hey,
What else?
Kyle Hicks, you said Sidney Crosby. I love that, man. That's another good one.
Pens, let's go.
Marley's got the Eagles. Man, Larry Fitzgerald on a Pittsburgh jersey. What? Not sure I know what you're talking about there, Mr. Reese. All right. So good.
This
So
is
good.
awesome.
Well, hey, and one of the purposes that we do this is so that we could really just like be together and hang. Like, even though we can't necessarily see you, like that's why we want you to take a picture, but we just want to hang and be together. And like, that's the whole purpose of it. So anyway, people are still commenting. Pittsburgh it looks like it's winning out. Pastor Nick and Jordan, I know that you guys aren't like the biggest Steelers fans.
I don't know that we're really any fans, which is super sad, other than probably our alma mater, which is
That's
Messiah.
it.
But
Listen, I'm a fan of sports as an idea, right? And an activity. I just don't follow anything on TV. Give me the Super Bowl, I'll watch it, and I'll get some highlights.
so I'll be honest, the way that I used to choose my team, and honestly still do to this day, was based on the best logo and the best color scheme. So it really just kind of depends on the mood and who has the best logo of the year.
Broncos,
Yeah.
Chargers.
Man,
Chargers, pretty dope. Yeah, that's the way to pick them.
it's so sad. But we're also interested in keeping the conversation going
Yeah.
as far as sports with the jersey you're wearing, but also what sport do you guys find to be the most boring? So if you've got a sport that you do not enjoy watching or playing, drop it in the comments. We want to know what the most boring sport is. And Adam and Katie, what would that be for you guys?
All right, so here's the second part, and why, right? So the most boring sport to me would be golf. And the reason why is because like it's not intense, you know? Like I'm looking for action packed like go stuff. Golf's not one of them.
So like watching it or playing it.
Either. Most boring sport.
Maybe that's why old people play it.
Oh, man.
That's true. It might
agree
be.
with that.
It might be.
It's less intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be.
I'm
What would it
trying
be
to
for you?
think-
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of any sport that's more boring than golf. I actually can't.
I can't.
Or, there's one out there for sure. I can't think of it. Oh, no. NASCAR is more boring than golf to me.
Ooh.
NASCAR, and so maybe somebody likes NASCAR. Just support it if you're out there.
Or snapping
NASCAR's
Alex
so
on
fun.
here because those are fighting words. If we've got Alex on.
What do we got? What are they saying about Alex? Get arrested. Yeah, NASCAR. He loves a good NASCAR. I think NASCAR is boring.
It is. I've got to agree with you guys. Golf for me is probably the most boring. I'd watch NASCAR over golf. I don't know. I think you're alone on this
Golf's
one.
a
Yeah,
fun
people
sport.
driving around in circles is very fun.
So are you agreeing with Pastor Nick here? That NASCAR is more boring than golf?
No.
All right.
No, the fans, watching the fans at a
That is
NASCAR race is my entertainment.
Um,
Driving around, not so much,
Fair
but
enough.
watching the fans,
So it's like when you go to Walmart. Just
Yes.
People watching that's entertainment in itself.
yes, it is.
What we got out here?
Yeah, so here's the thing. Pastor Nick, read those off, but here's the thing. We want you to comment why as well. So what's the most boring sport to you and why? So if you think it's golf, comment why. If you think it's NASCAR, whatever you think it is, why. And we want to read it off.
Come on, let's hear it. Somebody said shuffleboard. Shuffleboard's pretty intense,
Right.
though, man.
Oh, we got Sam with shuffleboard.
Golf or tennis? Trini doesn't think tennis is very exciting. Tennis is amazing.
I agree
It's
with
a
you,
little
P-Nick.
bit slower, but it is interesting.
That's like it's ping pong went huge. That's exciting.
really big ping pong table then.
Here we go. NASCAR. Some more NASCAR. Favorite sport is monster trucks. Let's go, Jared.
Ooh.
Big air and backflips. See, it's a big question. Somebody asked if NASCAR is a sport. I think it's a sport. There's a lot of things that are.
Absolutely. So here's the question I have then too is marching band a sport? I think it is. I think it could be a sport.
Any people who are in band or in marching band, let us know whether you considered
I don't know.
a sport.
Some of those competitions, though, are pretty intense. I would say probably more intense than a golf match.
Cheerleading
So
is a sport.
if golf can be a sport, then you know what? I think marching band, we can count it.
Cheerleading is definitely a sport. Marching band feels like performance art to
I can see that.
me, if that's
But drumline, they're getting a workout in.
yeah.
I don't know.
So there's a question on here. Is pool a sport? Is pool like this yeah? Is pool a
Billiards.
sport? Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
As much as bowling's a sport.
Yeah. Danny says nothing happens in soccer. So soccer's the most boring. I would
Apparently he's not
Oh.
watching the right
Bro.
soccer games.
World Cup.
Go to
There's, it's way intense.
Dog.
I would respectfully disagree. I think golf. Oh my goodness. I think soccer is really exciting. I actually like soccer.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, we lived on that at Messiah. I mean, soccer games, because we don't have a football team at Messiah. So it's soccer all the way. And those are some pretty fun matches.
Yeah, it's pretty good. There's
Hey,
a little
so-
debate happening on Anthem. on
Yeah,
Sunday
what is it?
about like whether if cheerleading is a sport and it's a competition, it's performance. Marching band should be a sport. You know what? Cheerleading is on the line anyway. I consider it a sport because it's at some measure athletic with finesse. But it is true. It's on the line of performance art. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, so Marley says golf is the most boring because golf. So
She's right.
Good argument.
I received that.
that's so good.
Cool.
All right, we got another question. Let's keep it rolling. We got one more, or we got a couple more questions.
Yeah,
but what's the
yeah,
next one?
The next question is, right now, what professional sport do you think that you could jump in right now and do really good at? So football, soccer, basketball, what professional sport would you jump into? I don't know what I would do, but Adam, what would you do?
So here's the thing. I think I would do. I think this is a sport. The hot dog eating contest.
Oh my gosh.
Just going down. Listen, being quarantined has made me a better eater. So I would go for that. What would you guys do? What would you guys do?
Oh,
This is no training. This is a no training scenario.
No
This is
training.
like
No training.
right now.
Amateur.
Oh boy.
Well, it depends, right? Of all these questions, and do well. You do well immediately. What would you do?
I don't know that I do well, but I could play baseball. I used to play softball, baseball throughout middle school, high school, but I don't know that I'd be super great at it at this point. But I'd probably survive a little bit better in a baseball game than another sport.
That's it. I have a great one. The luge. The luge is a sport. Like, if I'm honest, I've never done the luge. If you've ever done the luge, somebody tell me. Because I feel like anybody can just lay down on some board or in some sled and just go down the thing. When you watch it, it doesn't look like there's anything that's happening. There's not
It's a giant slide. That's all it is.
Slide.
Yeah.
What's the luge about anyway? I don't know. It's great.
It's the luge, man.
If you fly out, you die. So maybe that's
It's high
That's a
risk.
good point.
It's high
high
risk.
risk. Yeah.
Here we
There's
go.
got a lot on here.
There. Seeing some volleyball here for Anthem. Jeremy and Emily.
Football and baseball.
Volleyball.
Snap.
Some professional church softball.
Yeah. Oh, Kyle.
Ooh, that's good.
Kyle says ping pong. Because Kyle's kind of a beast at ping pong. If you ever play Kyle Hicks on the boards in the student center, he doesn't mess around.
I actually don't like playing him because, yep. Don't need to disclose why.
Ooh, someone says curling on here.
Curling.
Jump in and do curling.
Just broom
Yeah.
whatever the ice and you're set. Curling.
Hey, Hannah Matsko said that watching running is boring. I'd have to agree. Those that are in cross country, it's not. I've been to cross country meets. It's so boring to watch, but I'll still come to watch you. But it's boring.
It is.
Yeah.
The hurdles are interesting though, because I feel like that is high stakes.
The long
Yep.
distance.
Don't know.
Long distances. You want to see someone like bust an ankle. At least the danger of that happening makes it exciting, right? That could happen. Like, I'm thinking about now, man, like Tour de France, long distance cycling, boring. I don't want to watch that. How interesting.
So we got here on Fusion in the Movement. We got Tia thinks she can jump in at swimming. Trinity thinks soccer. Marley curling. All right. And now let's do this. If you think, or not if you think, if you've ever done like curling on your own before, like just comment and let us know real quick. So that could be like using a broom on the floor, and you're just like, now I'm guilty. Like I've done this. Like I've rolled like a tennis ball or something, and then I start like, moving with a broom and everything, trying to like see how far I could get it. Who else has done that? I'm curious.
That's it. You've like practiced. It's like I'm doing the sport, and I know it's a counterfeit version of the sport, but I'm basically training for the sport.
It's only during Olympic season he does that, guys. Not all the time.
True. That's true.
Just the Winter Olympics.
I mean, anytime I'm on a diving board, I just feel like I'm a professional. Like I know exactly what I'm doing. Like watch this one, you know?
Oh, if cornhole was a sport, that would be great. Yeah, that's good.
That's awesome.
And
Hey, I
so-
got another question.
Yeah, what is it? What is it?
While you're responding to this one's good in a similar vein. This is our last question tonight. What sport? We've named a few Olympic sports. What sport is not in the Olympics that belongs there? What sport belongs in the Olympics that isn't there? There's a lot of sports that aren't in the Olympics, believe it or not. Some that should.
What is it? What is it? You got to watch the Olympics first. If you're not an Olympics watcher, come on, what's wrong with you?
Super Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Oh.
Esports.
I
is
mean,
probably
Nathaniel said it, so
That's probably it.
Super Smash Bros.
Should be.
Let's go.
Come on.
Javelin.
Paintball. I saw paintball.
napping,
Napping, professional nap.
bike ball.
Troutman spike ball. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Spike ball. That's a riveting game. I gotta say.
Yeah, I've actually never played spike ball, but like I hear it's amazing. Ton of people.
Soup's good. Would you? It's kind of like volleyball only, and it's kind of not like volleyball at all.
Like volleyball and a trampoline, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's kind of like volleyball and trampoline. Dodgeball.
Nice.
I agree with that. Dodgeball should totally be in there. That's an amazing sport, dodgeball.
Right.
Yep.
It's not a professional sport either, is it?
I don't think so.
No.
Dodgeball.
Seeing some tetherball.
Tetherball.
Wow.
Ooh, yep.
Some good ones.
Yep. That's so good.
Man.
Dodgeball again. Trick shots. Yeah, that would be good. I think that would be good. Someone said paintball as well.
Yeah.
Paintball's a good one. I think that's great.
Didn't cancel the Olympics for this year? Didn't they push it to next year?
Ooh, I don't know.
I think
I
they
don't know.
did. I don't know if I ruined
Who wrote
anyone's day. by
No,
that,
friends,
but
tell
It
us.
was supposed to be this summer, but if anybody knows differently, just let me know.
Yeah. I
But
don't know. Everything's
leads,
Yeah.
leading worship with hype songs,
Yeah.
that is a sport, especially if you're jumping all the time,
Performance art.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Listen, so if being in like being in like a marching band is a sport, like leading a like a crazy like hype worship team, I would think, right?
Yep.
For
Yeah.
sure.
That's true.
Excellent energy.
Oh, Jared Becker, he did say it is canceled.
Oh man.
My heart.
Yeah.
I can't take any more of this, man. The Olympics are fun. The Olympics are, even if they're not interesting sports, I always tune in for the Olympics and watch people run around in circles. Because I'm like, it feels like it's a moment that you have to be a part of, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah. It's so good. All right, let's see. Laser tag also is on there. Rachel, you said laser tag. Cool. Yep, that could be a really cool one to watch. I think that'd be awesome. Any other things? Capture the flag. That would be an
Ooh.
incredible one for the Olympics.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine that?
Yeah.
No capture the flag.
Oh,
Someone
That'd be
put
intense.
wall ball. What is wall ball? Just a quick question. What is that?
I have no
Wall
idea.
ball's like, what's the one you play? It's like
Is that like you throw it against the wall?
what you do in the room. Like racquetball, that's it. Yeah, it's a lot like
Without the
racquetball.
racket.
Yeah, it's only like with your hands.
Sense.
Oh, you do
That's
it
the
with
kind of sport that's
like you hit it
so
with your
easy.
hand?
Yeah, you just kind of like have a ball and you just play with your hand. Tennis ball, lacrosse ball, racquetball. You can use anything. A
Oh my
wall
gosh.
and a ball, and you can play. You're set.
And you're good. Well, like what kind, like you can use like a baseball for this. You use like a football for
Would you use
this.
a baseball for that?
Well, that's what I'm
not gonna
saying.
bounce.
Like can you use any ball?
Yeah, maybe not any ball. Some of the bounces pretty.
Maybe like a
decent.
tennis ball, ping pong, something like
A
that.
ping pong
Tennis
ball. That'd be
ball.
great.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Honestly, we look forward to this this night, this day, out of the whole entire week because we get to hang and spend some time with you guys. And so we want to remind you this every single week. We really want to encourage you. Even though we can be a world and like a time where it doesn't seem too encouraging, like there is encouragement because we live a life with Jesus. And so it's what an incredible thing. But thanks so much for joining with us. Here's what you can do. For next week, if you could text some other people that need to be a part of this just for connecting, make sure to text them as well. But we got some announcements that we want to let you know. And the first thing is this, super excited about this. Next week is not Jersey night. Next week we're calling formal night. So this is what we're asking everyone to do is come dressed in a suit and a tie, or come dressed in a nice dress, come dressed in khakis and a polo shirt, something really nice. Take a picture of yourself and post it. Tag one of the social media. We're gonna have more information to come, a hashtag, but it's gonna be so fun. Listen, come dressed to the nines. It's gonna be awesome.
I mean,
Do
you're not
miss
going
it.
anywhere anyway, so might as well get dressed for the day.
That's true.
right?
Time to
That's-
print.
Go to sleep formal,
Sure.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, those of you who
Yes.
like curling, girls, you could curl your hair. I don't know.
There we
That's the
go.
only curling I've ever
I
done.
totally thought you meant like the sport curling. It's great.
We're got it all
Yes.
mixed up, man.
Yeah, that's okay.
So this is like
Awesome.
fancy. Treat this like you're going to the school dance, right? Fellas, I need a tie and a corsage, all of that. You need to do all of it. Just get all fancy. If somebody has a monocle, you get bonus points.
Oh,
That's
dear.
what I'm looking for. That's just the epitome of class right there. Be really good. Formal night next week. We'll give you more details. But hey, we want to remind you, stream with us throughout the week. You look at all kinds of things. We're here Thursday nights, of course. And you're all joining us. Invite a friend next week for sure. But join us every Sunday. We're streaming services. If you haven't been connected, where have you been, man? We got services. It's more easy than ever. They're streaming all day long. So we had a great time celebrating Easter this past Sunday, Resurrection Sunday. And so it's just going to be great. So tune in with us Sundays all throughout the day for service. And if you're with us on like social media, on Facebook, put something in the chat. It's a great place to get connected to people while you stream as well. And join us on Wednesdays. Wednesday nights, we have prayer services that are happening every single Wednesday. So you want to join us. And then again, next week, Thursday Night Live. 3 places to stream, every single week. We want to see what all of them. If you didn't notice, there's our dog in the background. He's like,
He might be chilling there for a bit because you can see people walking by and rabbits, so that's his little spot there.
there are now 5 people in this live stream. It's beautiful and organic. Stream with us. 3 places to stream. We love seeing you every single week.
Yeah, and so join us on those streams, but then if you are not part of a virtual small group yet, DM us on the Fusion, Movement, or Anthem page and let us know if you want to be a part of a small group because we'll get you connected with a leader. It's a great chance to go through just some of the discussion following the streams that we have throughout the week and just to connect and keep up that community. So if you're not already part of a virtual small group, definitely message us and we can help you get plugged into that.
Definitely. I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to see your pictures. And hey, you could even like wear a suit and tie, but wear, gym shorts. I've seen a lot of people like post pictures and they're wearing gym shorts and a nice shirt. So it's quarantine. You can do what you want. But tonight we are going to continue in our series. I'm so excited, bigger than I thought, and just reminding ourselves that the strength that Jesus carries is much bigger than we think. It isn't small. And even though we think that we know it all, sometimes we need to constantly remind ourselves that he can do way more than we ever think. And so with all of these things we've been talking about, these moments with Jesus and just unimaginable things that he has done, no matter where we are, we need to remember that whatever we're going through, especially right now with quarantine and all the things that you face, God is up to something. He wants to do something amazing in your life, unimaginable in your life, if you let him this week and tonight. So we're really excited about it. So if you have your Bibles, go ahead and turn to Mark chapter 4, verse 35 through 41. You can read along with us if you'd like. We're going to start in verse 35. As evening came, Jesus said to his disciples, "Let's cross over to the other side of the lake." So Jesus and all of them got in the boat and they started out, leaving the crowds behind them, although there were other boats that followed. But soon a fierce storm came up. High winds were breaking into the boat, and it began to fill with water. Jesus was sleeping at the back of the boat with his head on a cushion. The disciples woke him up, and they were shouting, "Teacher, don't you care about us? We're going to drown." Then Jesus woke up. He rebuked the wind and the waves, and he said, "Silence, be still." Suddenly the wind stopped, and there was a great calm. Then he asked them, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" The disciples were totally terrified, and they said, "Who is this man that he even controls the wind and the waves?"
What an incredible story this is. When Jesus spoke, literally, the wind and the waves were at his command. Jesus spoke and they immediately stopped. This is such a story of power in this moment. And so many of us, we find ourselves in situations and we find ourselves in the middle of a severe storm in life. And oftentimes what happens is we think to ourselves, wow, I wasn't ready for this, or this isn't what I thought it would be. Like when I thought I would have trouble, when I thought things were coming my way, I'm not prepared for what this is and what it looks like. But just for a moment, I want to take our thoughts and ideas and our focus off of the storm and put it on Jesus. The disciples in this story, they hop in a boat with Jesus. They're on the water, and suddenly this massive storm appears. And after the storm appears, they look around what looks tragic, yet as we focus on what Jesus did, we can see that Jesus is sleeping. And Jesus isn't just sleeping, like, it looks like he's sleeping in a comfortable way. Like, it sounds to me, right? I want to take a note of a couple things here. A, Jesus must be a hard sleeper. Now, here's the thing. If you're a hard sleeper, you're more like Jesus. Because Jesus is sleeping in the middle of this crazy storm, and he didn't get woken up until the disciples went and said something. So A, Jesus is a heavy sleeper, and B, Jesus likes his pillows. Now, if you're like Katie, my wife Katie, you like sleeping with like 10 pillows. I don't understand how you do it. I don't understand what happens. Like, I don't get how you do it. But I sleep with one pillow. But right here it says, right, his head was on a cushion. Like, If you like sleeping with pillows, there you go. You're more like Jesus right there. But I want us to take note of this. Number one, the first thing is this: if Jesus is sleeping in the middle of a storm, we should prepare ourselves to be sleeping in the middle of a storm too. If Jesus is sleeping in the middle of a storm, we should prepare ourselves to be sleeping in the middle of a storm too. Out of the panic, the disciples woke Jesus up and they were completely scared. And furthermore, they asked, Jesus, don't you care if we drowned? I don't know about you guys, but the past couple of days, and even today, right, there was snow today. I don't know if you got out and realized that there was snow, but the past couple of days, there have been some severe storms. There's been lightning, thunder, lightning and a thunder, that's what I think of. There's been lightning and thunder, right? A lot of storms these past couple of days, and my brother sends me a video of his dog. Now his dog's like shaking, like his legs are shaking, his face is shaking. There's like saliva dripping down his face. Like on this video, you can see it. And this dog is completely scared that any moment he would lose his life. He just didn't know. He didn't know that the house was protecting himself from the storm from around it. See, when the storms are so big in life, and I'm not just referring to what we're dealing with right now, I'm actually referring to storms that'll come later on in life. Like the coronavirus is one thing, but as we continue to be reminded of who God is when storms come, it's important to know this, that it's normal for people to freak out. The disciples freaked out, and it's important to like freak out a little bit. But with a lot of people, that's where their story stops. But the story doesn't stop there. The disciples recognize the power of Jesus, and that when Jesus is around, he's actually in control of the storm completely. So the question here isn't, does Jesus have power over my storm? The question actually is, are you going to trust Jesus enough in the middle of the storm so that you can rest and sleep because you're so reliant on him when the storms come? In Matthew chapter 11, verse 28, it says this: come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give them rest. When we come to Jesus, it's a command right there. Come to me if you're weary, you're burdened. If you have things going, come and he will give you rest. Rich Wilkerson Jr. says this: rest is an internal posture of trust that can actually enable us to accomplish more in life because we're working in tandem with Jesus himself. We can rest in the trust. We can sleep when storms are around us because Jesus is there in the midst. The idea of sleep gives us an incredible picture here. When you sleep, you're vulnerable. When you sleep, you're more calm. Your heart rate's lower. When you sleep, you're dependent. And I don't know about you, but I don't know about you, but what I want to do and what I want to be able to do is to rest and to sleep in the midst of adversity when hard times come, because I'm so reliant on who Jesus is.
It's really good. Man, that just makes me think of how true it is. It's so interesting. I love this story of Jesus just sleeping in a boat because his calm, his state of calm, right, is directly related to his level of faith, right? Where he's trusting Jesus too. I mean, he's kind of set up to be all right. So like he's trusting, man, this is going to be totally fine. And because he has a measure of faith that, hey, it's going to work out and we got this, he's able to have a measure of peace and calm about him, right? Isn't that interesting? One of my favorite parts, and it's kind of like, it almost feels so harsh, is when Jesus turns back after calming the waters and he goes, what is wrong with you guys? Why don't you have any faith? Are you serious? Are you kidding me? I remember always growing up reading verses like this where Jesus burns all of his disciples and he's like, are you serious? How long do I have to hang out with you guys? You still have faith yet? And we get it for sure because, and maybe we've been harsh and be like, I can't believe these disciples. Like if I was in that boat, I'd be like, I literally have Jesus with me. Like why are they so scared? We might often think that. But isn't it so interesting, right? We might often think this way, and I did when I was younger. If I literally had Jesus face to face in front of me in the boat, I wouldn't care at all. But how interesting is it? Because we sometimes think of it this way. We may not have Jesus physically face to face, but we know for a fact that when we follow Jesus, we have the Holy Spirit, which is the fullness of who Jesus is, living inside of us, and we still don't have faith. We could put ourselves in this boat and be just like these disciples sometimes if we were honest. We might give them a lot of flack sometimes. Maybe like, yeah, get them, Jesus. But sometimes we're in that same place. It's interesting in the New Testament, the apostles remind us that the same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead lives inside of us. The same way that the disciples, Jesus is like, are you kidding me? I'm sleeping right here with you. We should probably look at ourselves and go like, why are you freaking out? Why don't you have faith yet? In the moments when we're so afraid, maybe we need to remind ourselves that we too have Jesus in the boat with us, even if it doesn't necessarily feel like it. So we ask the question, like, well, what do we do then? If we develop our faith, that sense of calm, that sense of peace comes naturally because we're just putting our trust that Jesus has got this. He's got it covered. And here's something I think we need to remember. And it's a really great practical element that will really help us activate. We need to remember this, that faith isn't found. Write it down, put it down somewhere, text a friend. Faith isn't found, faith is built. Remember that. Faith is not something that we just find. Oftentimes we might think so. Like, I don't know, when I'm in a rough spot, I'll just find the faith and I'll just feel it. Like when the storm comes, then I'll be like, no, God's got this. I got my trust. Guess what? That's not going to happen. You're not just going to find yourself in a hard place and never have developed trust or developed faith and go like, well, there it is. It's going to be just fine. Faith is something that needs to be developed, right? It's actually this twofold thing where faith is something that I decide to have, right? I make a commitment that I'm going to have faith, but it's also something I choose to build, right? It's this decision in my mind and in my heart, I'm going to trust. When the time comes, this is not one of the times here yet, but I know now that when the time comes, I'm going to have faith and I'm going to have trust because He's got me covered. And it's also something that I develop so that I can be in the hardest spot in the world. And because I've put it into practice and I've developed my faith, man, I'm ready for the task. Maybe to explain this a little bit, there's maybe first responders or people who respond to crisis is so interesting. I remember reading some studies about specifically people who respond to special crises or like, again, first responders where the people that we often say, man, they're heroes. They're just, usually what we attribute to them is that they're so courageous, right? As if they're a kind of person that just has a sense of courage that nobody else has. And that may be true. But it's so interesting when you do your studies and you find out about these people, it's not that courage finds them in the moment. It's that many times the people who act and make a difference in the hard moments, in the crises, are the people that have decided, when the time comes, I know I'm going to act courageously. I'm going to have courage when it matters most. And here's what's also interesting. They develop their courage. They put themselves in smaller scenarios that kind of test their courage or test even what my response is to a crisis or a conflict, so that my courage is stronger and stronger when I need it the most. It's really interesting here. It's almost like using your fight or flight scenario, right? We all know this. If you get in this scenario where like somebody's coming at you and you're like, I feel nervous, you got caught, or like you're in trouble, or you're like something happens, I don't know what to do. I either want to run away or I want to fight back, and usually like you see red and it's tunnel vision and your hands start sweating, your knees start shaking, and you don't know what to do with yourself. We've all been in these scenarios. Experts actually say that you can respond respond more well, I think is what I was trying to say. You respond much better in those scenarios if you train your body to handle that kind of scenario because you've been in similar situations before. Simply finding scenarios that kind of spark your adrenaline can actually help you get a better sense of awareness about what's going on, and you can handle the situation better. This is so interesting. Faith, I believe, is a lot like this, right? Where faith is something that I choose. And I'm going to trust God, absolutely. But it's also something that's built. Trust is built through experience, right? So the more time I spend stepping out in faith, the stronger my faith's going to be. The more time I spent thinking back on all the times that God's come through for me in the past, I can go, yeah, man, I can trust Him. He's never not been trustworthy. These are some things we want to challenge you with tonight and carry into this week, carry it throughout your life. Build some of these things in. We want to challenge you to do two things. Number one, we want to challenge you to make a decision. Maybe it's in this scenario that we're in right now, and Maybe it's something unrelated to quarantine. Maybe it's just like, I don't know, I'm in this conflict or I'm in this stressful situation. Maybe it feels like there's a storm hitting me. Make a decision, right? Make a decision. No matter what happens, I'm going to trust. I'm going to have faith. I'm making a commitment on my mind and my heart. I'm going to trust God. He's got me covered. And let me encourage you, find little practices, regular scenarios that stretch your faith so it can grow. It's like hitting the bench press to build your physical muscles. You got to strain them a little bit and stretch them so they can grow back stronger, right? I want to invite you to do those two things. Find regular practice to develop your faith. This is reminding yourself of how God's calmed your storms in the past. This is stepping out in faith, like getting into the uncomfortable place, because it actually makes us stronger in the process, right? So do these two things. This is the challenge tonight. Let's each be processing whatever storm I'm going through. Am I committing? Am I making a decision? Man, I'm going to trust. I'm going to have faith. And am I regularly building in scenarios or situations? Am I stepping out in ways that will help develop my faith so I'll be stronger when I need more faith, need faith the most? I want to invite you and encourage you to those things, because if we do that and we commit to these two things, soon the big things, the giant storm is going to seem a lot smaller. The scary things don't become so scary. It's kind of funny that in the embracing of the uncomfortable that we find growth the most. So we just want to encourage you there.
That's good. So we're going to pray into this in just a moment, but before we do, just want to remind you all that we will have a chance to have discussion around this and to unpack it, process it together in our discussion groups. And so, like we said, if you're not part of a discussion group yet, message us, and we want to get you plugged into that, because it will give you a chance to maybe unpack some of what you're wrestling with, or things that maybe came up as we were talking about just this season of faith and just this trying time that we're in the midst of. So DM us, that's the Fusion Instagram account on movements or anthems, and we'll work to get you plugged in. But we'll be posting these questions as well immediately following the live stream, so that you can work through those and essentially think them over before you join those discussion groups and have a chance to process through that. So stay tuned, those will be coming here shortly. But we just want to take a moment to really pray into this and pray over what we just talked about. So if you guys can join me, we're going to go ahead and pray about this. Father God, we just thank you so much for this opportunity to still connect and unite, even though we're not physically together. We thank you for this chance just to grow and just challenge one another as we're working just through such a difficult time. God, we pray for trust that leads to faith in you, Jesus, especially during this trying time, as plans have changed, as things that maybe we were looking forward to and excited about have either been completely altered or canceled. God, there are a lot of questions right now in this season, and a lot of question marks that are there. God, we pray that you would just show us how to continue to have faith and to trust in you, even though we're being tried in a lot of ways. Speak to us individually and even in groups, but God, we just pray for that faith that can move mountains, that faith that can just get us through even just a single day or maybe to the end of the week. God, we believe that you'll give that to us, and we know that we can find true peace in you. That calm and that peace is found in you. And Jesus, we ask for that, and just pray over each person that's joined the stream, and maybe those that weren't able to that will join later. God, we pray over each person. We love you, and we thank you for who you are and all that you're doing, even when we're confused on what's going on. But you're still God, and we love you in your name. Amen.
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 Hey, thank y'all for joining us. Come on, I want to remind you, if you've been rocking the jersey tonight, take a picture, post it in your story, tag us, use the hashtag jersey night. We want to see it.
We do.
We want to see it. And we won't talk trash about whatever team you're representing. We want to.
Maybe.
We'll see. Hey, we love you guys a ton. We'll see you. We'll see you on Sunday for our live stream, but we'll make sure to see you next week at the same time. Make sure to join in. Ask some people to come as well. And we're just so thankful. We love you guys so much. Next week's formal night, make sure to dress up in a suit or something. Dress to the nines. We'll see you then. Love you guys. Have a great week.
Love you guys. See ya.
Love ya.